Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning, the 17th day of September, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE, 90.9 FM over the airwaves here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice anywhere else on the planet this morning, you've probably gone to our website to listen, streaming all the time there at ksje.com, or maybe you're listening to me through the new KSJE app. We're glad that you are with us this morning. Also, welcome to our viewers who are joining us. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. Coming up on the program this morning, we're going to be telling you about a special event that's happening this Saturday at the Aztec Museum and Pioneer Village. There are a multiple group of events that are going on Saturday, so we have guests representing each one of them. So we'll be telling you about that and more coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE this morning. Then, of course, next hour, Mick Hess will take over the studio. It's our classical music program, Roving with the Arts. It starts at 9:06 right after the news on KSJE. After that, of course, at 10:30, it is Right on Four Corners, our local and regional author program. This week, our host, Delcherie Gladden, is speaking with author Karen McCoy. She's a New Mexico author, talking about her latest book called The Etiquette of Voles. That is coming up today, 10:30 on Right on Four Corners on KSJE. Don't forget, you can also connect with us on other forms of social media besides Facebook and YouTube, like Instagram and Blue Sky and X, formerly known as Twitter. And if you're a podcast listener, you can listen to KSJE podcasts. They're available where you're already listening to podcasts, I bet. So check it out and maybe discover a new local program that you may have missed recently. And there it is, the KSJE radio app. It's available now to download from the App Store and Google Play. You can put it on your mobile device and stay connected when you're on the go, streaming all the time, podcasts and more, all part of the KSJE app, available now. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a cool Wednesday morning. Sunny skies and 53 degrees at the moment. We're expecting more sunshine today with a high near 80 degrees. 51 and clear skies tonight. Tomorrow, more sunshine, 78 for a high on Thursday. Partly sunny skies and 75 on Friday. Sunshine and 76 on Saturday. Sunny and 79 on Sunday. And overnight lows, as you can see, in the mid to upper 50s. I'll be back with my guest to talk about this big event coming up Saturday at the Aztec Museum and Pioneer Village right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Michlin Morning Program on KSJE.
My guest this morning, as I mentioned, from the Aztec Museum and Pioneer Village, their executive director, Joan Monninger, is here this morning. Joan, welcome back to KSJE. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Scott. Great to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
You bet. Looking forward to learning about this big event you have on Saturday, and you brought some guests with you. We have a guest on the phone as well, which we'll be talking about, but give us kind of the synopsis, if you will.
Okay. Well, each year in September, around this coming weekend in September, the Smithsonian Magazine sponsors Free Smithsonian Day. So museums and institutions around the country are asked to have a free day so people can go and enjoy things. So we've been doing it for several years now. It was our board member, Debbie Olson, who kind of brought it to our attention. And,
Wonderful.
And the board liked it, so we keep doing it. And so it is a free day, all day on Saturday from 10 to 4. And we always try to put together some special things going on to attract folks.
Very good. And of course, during the summertime, I know the museum is open pretty regular hours. You kind of pull back a little bit on those over the winter, of course. But this is a great time if you haven't gotten a chance to see the Aztec Museum all summer. You have your chance to go see it on Saturday.
Exactly.
And the special things that you're doing.
10 to 4, and typically we go through October, Tuesday
Right.
through Saturday, 10 to 4. And the admission, like I said, is free on Saturday, so it is a great day. It should be beautiful weather.
Looks like
and,
it, right?
This is a great time of year to be in the Four Corners and out and about doing stuff. So you can hit several things in one day.
That's true. Very true. And you have a special program planned, too. A couple things going on that day, too, right?
We do. We're going to have this pop-up quilt show that Susan's going to be talking about going on the whole time out in the Pioneer Village. So it's going to be really bright and colorful and wonderful out there. We've got Dina Burt coming to do a special program on some old photos from Aztec. That'll be kind of a real treat. We're going to do that in the 1906 church,
Right.
where everybody gets to sit in the pews, just like they're going to church on Saturday.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
And of course, we've got Norm and Devin going to run the Old Hustler printing press. They're going to actually print a postcard on there so people can take that away. It's going to be one of the old photos.
A free souvenir, right,
Yeah,
from their
exactly.
day in Aztec. So
And
perfect.
of course, we got 15 different historic buildings. We have so much equipment. People don't realize sometimes it's 3.5 acres. So we have that old courthouse or old city hall on Main Street, but you go back behind and there's so much to see.
There's a lot more. That's true. So very good. Lots to go on. And so let's talk about this mystery photos, the Cutts Brewer family photo collection part of the day, because we do have actually Dina Burt is on the phone with us this morning to join us to talk a little bit about this. She is part of that family. And Dina, can you hear us okay? Good morning.
I can hear you fine.
Wonderful.
Great day.
You are en route, I would say, right, to Aztec to be here on Saturday?
Yes, I will be there tomorrow for sure.
Okay, very good. Well, we're glad that you pulled off the side of the road or stopped long enough to talk to us this morning to talk a little bit about this event. And can you give us kind of an idea about the connection then? These are photos maybe from your family?
Well, that's the mystery.
Aha.
Yes, my grandmother was born in Aztec in 1907, I think.
Okay.
And her father and grandfather came in 1882, is what some of the research is saying, some 1884.
I see.
They must have been keepers of good stuff. So I went to my mother's cousin, who had kept these photos all these years, and we looked through them, and there's so many things. There's some really awesome photos. I don't know if anybody in the family took photos, or if they had friends that took photos, or if they knew a photographer that took all sorts of pictures. So it's pretty amazing. I was looking at them again last night, and I have Aztec, before the turn of the century, there's just some little wooden buildings, and I recognize my great whatever back's store
Right.
that was built.
Wow.
It's a pretty cool. And then one of my great whatever aunts and her husband moved to Pagosa Springs,
Okay.
and they lived there a long time. But originally they homesteaded on the San Juan. Help me, Joan. Is it?
Yeah, it was between Blanco and Bloomfield.
Okay.
And it's interesting because the river kept coming up, right? Well, tell me about the house, okay, Dina? And the bricks.
Well, this is an interesting thing. The great one, the oldest guy, was Charles G. And I see all the time in the paper Charles or C.G. Brewer. So I don't know what he went by at the time. He was big into gas manufacture in Philadelphia area up in New York. And then he was burned from some of the gas and damaged his lungs, and the doctors said, "Go west, young man." So he ended up in Aztec. I think he must have had some money to start with. By the time he was gone, I didn't get any, so they built a great, big, huge two-story brick home on the upper banks of the San Juan.
Interesting.
Beautiful thing. And I have a lot of pictures of that.
Joan, is this the picture we're seeing
No,
now on the
no.
screen? No, this is another brick building.
It's the bricks.
Yes.
It's not the house.
Oh.
I see. We're showing a picture, Dina, of a brewer store, it looks
The
like.
dry goods store there at Aztec.
Yeah.
But they built that from the bricks.
Of the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he proceeded, his wife ran the store, and he and his son, my other grandfather down the line, built numerous buildings around Aztec. He was in on the first courthouse. He was in on the first high school. What church are we going to be at again?
Well, the church that we're going to be at is a wood frame one that's in the Pioneer Village.
Yes. Okay. Great.
But he built the Methodist church.
Another church in town, at least one,
Yes.
right? And the church in the Pioneer Village, if I recall, is from Cedar Hill.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's the Cedar Hill Methodist Church.
Thank you.
So we're staying Methodist Church.
Okay,
but-
well, that's good. Very good.
So anyway, and they love to travel. So there are photos of them all over the place before the turn of the century or into early 19.
Right. And
the family died out and left in 1924, I think. So.
okay.
And I'm just going to comment. There's an image that that Scott has up right now, and it has Bertha Brewer, and she's the one looking at it on the far left. That's her. That's 4th of July in Aztec.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
And someone's
they
bicycle.
have bicycles, and they're all dressed for the 4th of July.
Sure,
And,
well,
yeah,
right.
It's kind of wonderful.
Interesting.
It's such an insight into life.
Well, I was going to
at
ask
that
you
time.
that, Joan, as you know, as the executive director of the museum, how interesting is it to get a collection like this, or to be able to see a collection like this, have it shared with you as an insight, a little snapshot, literally, into time, in life in Aztec at that time.
It is a window into that world, and for Dina, I know these are her ancestors, so it's really cool. But for all of us, peeking at what was 4th of July like in Aztec, or in San Juan County at that time, and they had a bicycle parade apparently.
Right.
And I know that their family, Dina's a genealogist, just like Patty Tharp, and Patty
Right.
Tharp is the one who
Shout out.
Historical Society, who helped sort of give us the idea. She was going to do this in 2019. But of course, nobody was doing anything in 2019 but staying in place. So we're doing it now, but
Okay.
it gives you these wonderful insights into what life was like. This was the ranch or homestead out near Bloomfield is this picture. And it looks very barren. And what happened, which was common when you look at pioneer stories, was the river would flood, in the spring.
Right.
And they finally got tired of it, and so they took that house, this beautiful two-story, and there's going to be pictures of it, I think, on Saturday, this beautiful two-story brick house that they built out there. They took it apart brick by brick, and they built a new building on Main Street in Aztec at the corner
So
of
they moved all
Chuska-
those
yeah,
bricks to the
Chuska
town.
and Main. They moved it to
Okay.
Maine, which was a dirt road. You
Sure.
can see that in the pictures.
Right.
They moved it brick by brick, and they built a new building out of those bricks.
Interesting. Very fascinating. Well, and we know back in those days, this was a fairly undeveloped region of New Mexico. It had just been opened, I think, for settlement 25 years prior, give or take.
Yeah.
And so, but Aztec was kind of the growing town at that time, which is why it became kind of the territorial county seat.
The county seat, yeah.
And there's stories about that. We won't
Yeah,
go
we
into
won't
that
go
this
into
morning. But it was
We're
kind
in
of the,
Farmington, so we won't go into
right,
that.
but it was kind of the go-to place, and so it was growing, and Main Street was growing, and there's still a lot of wonderful buildings on Main Avenue in Aztec from that period, or at least just after. So these are fascinating to find, and so. Dina, you're coming down, and you'll give a little presentation too with some of these photos that you'll be sharing with the audience on Saturday.
Yes, I have a whole bunch of ones that are not identified. A lot of people from that time period. And
therein lies the mystery, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people, you might recognize folks who have family
Right.
that are descendants here. They might recognize some of their family members in these pictures. We're hoping they do.
Okay.
I mean, how wonderful would that be?
Right. That would be wonderful.
we had over, or close to 300 photographs.
Wow.
And we're
not gonna see 'em all.
Them down.
Right.
We've weighted them down some.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But-
it'll be interesting.
Definitely. And here's another shot we're sharing now.
My understanding is this is Truman Brewer, so the son of Charles brewer.
Okay.
And again,
My
they had a
great-grandfather.
so blacksmith shop, the
Sure.
dry goods, I think a hardware, they had the brickworks, construction.
Wow.
I mean, they were doing a lot.
Yeah, well, and you can see in this picture, and folks, if you're listening on the radio, you're missing out. You need to be watching us on YouTube or Facebook because the horseshoes on the wall in the background are fascinating.
And it looks so much like our blacksmith shop we have at the museum. So
Right.
again, you see this picture and it's a little bit reversed, but if you walk into, again, our blacksmith shop on the Pioneer Village grounds, it looks like this. More stuff is labeled.
Right, thank you. Thank you for that. Very true.
But that's kind of, you'll be able to sort of hear about this, see the pictures, experience it. You kind of have this whole full immersion going on
Right.
Saturday.
Very true. Here's another one that does have some names on it, I think, too, or this is talking about at the Aztec ruins, is what the caption says, and then some names are on there.
I think Coots and Brewers are in that picture because Charles and Dina, you can throw in here too if you like. Charles was married to Hannah Sophia Coots of the Coots Canyon family.
Right, okay. Very good.
So, and of course, very common, for these folks to be out wandering in the ruins. And,
Sure.
that
And I think that picture also has some of Coots' family from Pennsylvania that came out frequently came all the way to Aztec to look around.
likely by
They were there,
train.
like,
Yeah.
So you bring in,
Yes.
you bring in the train, and people are still, when company comes to town, right, Mom? My mom's in the studio. Come to town, you take them out and you show them Aztec ruins, right?
Right, true, right. She didn't come by train, though.
No, she didn't.
Okay, good.
But she has.
Right, very good. But yeah, that's true. Right around that same time, around the turn of the century, I think the train was brought in from Durango down into Aztec and extended to Farmington eventually. But
And there's some wonderful train pictures part of the collection as well.
that was also part of this. And of course, the ruins hadn't been fully excavated at this time either. So it's really, they're just kind of standing on mounds of
in a way that
dirt.
we wouldn't now.
Right. Sure. Different
but
time.
Again, it gives you insight into that era.
Very true. Very true. Here's another shot of some produce.
It's a fruit stand. I love this, and I just was recently reading a book that was talking about, again, orchards all over the place here
Right.
in
That was
San Juan
the
County. The Red Apple Flyer
farming
was our
town,
train.
Bloomfield, Fruitland, all those
Exactly.
names that go back to that farming history.
But, when you think of, and I've read a description early 1900s of having a fruit stand and people coming through, and then I saw this picture and I'm like, that's exactly what this other man described a fruit stand being, and I think it's a beautiful picture.
Right.
And again, it's old photography, and so there's that whole mystery of who took it.
Right. Dina, we don't know anything about this fruit stand photo?
No, and there's probably I just looked last night, and I think I have about 5 different poses of it, or positions of it.
Somebody was very proud of
Might
it.
have been on the side of the road.
Right.
I don't know. I also have some images from inside various stores of old pottery and old rugs and things like that they must have found when they were playing in amongst the ruins, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Possible.
Very interesting
Again,
photos. Yeah.
a different time, and so again, and a lot of these things were quote unquote undiscovered, but they had been discovered, and so there is that. Here's another shot of a group of people in front of a
This
building.
is, I believe, the Brewer family.
Okay, looks like it's
yeah.
reversed from the sign, but
Yeah.
you get the
That's
idea.
why I'm wondering on the photos, so many of them are reversed.
So maybe from the negative, I
Oh.
guess, right, or how it was printed.
Yes, of course. So
Yeah.
who knows why? But
Yeah. Interesting. But they've got furnished rooms and lodging, is what the sign says. I can read that backwards.
Well, and
available.
One of the buildings that they worked on, the Brewers worked on the bricks and construction of, was the American Hotel, which we know is Miss Gale's Inn. So
Right,
that's
it's still
that
there.
beautiful brick building on
Right.
Main Street, and
Sure.
several of the brick houses there in town, and there are pictures of those too. So,
Mm-hmm. Right.
if you live in Aztec, come out. You might see.
Come take a
picture.
look and help maybe identify some of
Yeah.
these things. That's true.
Oh, yeah. Is that? Oh, I think that's Great Aunt Sarah's house. Yeah. That looks like Great Aunt Sarah's house.
See,
That's the kind of thing.
That would help you, right? Very good. And
Yeah.
we can see, and everyone's all dressed up, so it must have been some kind of special occasion. Even the kids
Yeah.
are dressed up in this picture.
Everyone looking pretty dapper.
The cousin that has been working with me on all these photos, her daughter is a copyright attorney.
Okay.
So no, we don't have copyright. So if anybody sees any of these pictures, they just have to say, ooh, I want that one. Then we'll just have to write it down, and I have to send it to them.
Okay.
it's wide open. So it's hoping if anybody identifies that photo is yours. So.
You'd be willing to do that. How nice. Yeah, very good. And I'm just looking too, and this is just a very small observation of the sidewalks in front of this. It's not a boardwalk. It looks like a cement sidewalk, which talks about maybe the development of the city, of the town of Aztec at that time.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. So,
Yeah.
but you see that dirt, the dirt of
The road is still dirt.
Is dirt.
Yeah.
The road is dirt.
Yeah.
And you can imagine a monsoon comes in, what that's like.
True, very true. But
Like we had last weekend, was it?
right.
Which
Been
we're
a few
happy
of
for the
those.
rain.
Right. Here's a shot of it. The train. Speaking of trains, right, as it was coming through, it looks like it was a pretty popular spot.
Yeah, and of course we've got a whole, lot of folks who really know the different trains and the engine numbers. So, like Jeff Ellingson, I'm talking to you, could look
Right.
at that and say, oh yes, that train, and
Number
I know
510.
they'll know exactly which one that is.
Right. Exactly. And
But it's wonderful, this group of people all standing around, and again, just the excitement of the train is here,
true.
And I kind of liken it to when I'm getting something I ordered from Amazon and the package is going to show up, or I'm tracking it. When is it? It's going to be delivered today. Imagine you got people coming in by train. Your stuff is coming by train.
Right.
Mail is coming by train.
Well, sure. And, and that was the thing. And stuff was going out by train and coming in by train. That was really the way to...
You might get something within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Well, from Durango, maybe, right? It would take that long. But sure. And again, another snapshot. This looks around the turn of the century, give or take, right? And but all these, women in their long dresses hiked it up to get up on the train for this photo.
Exactly. I mean, there's a backstory, and we don't know the backstory, which
Right.
is part of the mystery, but there's a backstory to every picture, right? Just like our own family pictures that we may have in a box somewhere in an album. Which is why, folks, label stuff.
Yeah, right. Please do.
Label
Right.
stuff. If you still know who the ancestors are, write it in pencil on the back
Yeah.
or do something so that later we can identify things.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, talking to you, Mom.
See, there you go. And shout out to the dog in this picture, too,
Yeah,
because
there
that's
you go.
always cool to see as well. So the dog is there, and it looks like this was a little bit of a long exposure because a couple of folks maybe were moving, and so they're a little blurry as they're wandering around.
I don't know a lot about old photography, but for the most part, I mean, you had to still very still, stand still for a while. So
Right.
any of these pictures, you knew the people were standing for a bit.
Right. They were definitely posing for,
Yeah.
and knew there's not a lot of candids from this time because of all that. Yes.
Excuse me. Would it be possible if I just ran through the list of the surnames that I know
Yes.
are in this picture? I
Sure.
don't know if there are any still around, but there might be some in the area.
You mean the picture of
I
the
guess-
train that we're showing?
No, the picture of it's just in front of me of all the people that I
Sure.
will have pictures of.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, for folks who are
sure,
listening,
of course.
if the names sound familiar, that may give it an incentive to come to the event and take a look at these. Go right
And the
ahead.
presentation's at 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
Dalton is one name. Ditchell, anyway, it's a German. Dial, Franks, Lamberson, Hugh, Thomas, and I guess you guys call it Cuts. Yeah.
Right.
My grandmother called it Coots.
Okay. Sure.
So those are the names that I know I have people of with pictures of. So, and then probably another 100 more. So
Wow.
unknown.
That's a lot, but so wonderful of you to share them with us and with the Aztec Museum and the public on this event on Saturday. So, Dina, we really appreciate your time with us this morning, too, to give us some insights into your family and the history and what they did when they were here in the Aztec and San Juan County areas.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining us, and safe travels to Aztec.
I'll see you tomorrow, Dina.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That is Dina Burt. She is a descendant of the families that are represented in these photos. There's the schedule, as we can see, the free admission on Saturday, the 20th, from 10 until 4. This quilt pop-up show, which is what we want to talk about next, because we have a representative from the San Juan Quilters Guild with us this morning. Susan Nelson is here. Welcome to you, Susan. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And this is an opportunity, I think, maybe for the members of your guild to show off some of their stuff a little bit.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm a member of the San Juan Quilters Guild, and we are a nonprofit, and we have been in the community for over 40 years.
Good for
and
you.
We're always looking for new members. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be experienced, just new members we would love to have, and experienced members to learn from. So
Very good. If someone's thought about starting a quilt or getting into quilting, you'll
Right.
accept them into the guild, and
Exactly.
it's okay?
Yes, you don't. No prior experience is needed. And so we have, before I get on with anything else, I want to let you know we have a quilt show at McGee Park, October 10th and 11th, and we'll have 150, maybe more quilts. So that
Wow.
is a big event for us, and so we'd like to invite people to come out for that.
No kidding. Very true. But you're having this pop-up show on Saturday.
This is something new. I was talking with someone at Leadership San Juan, Debbie Klein, and she was telling me about all the events in Aztec. And I told her I was a quilter, and we kind of got together and got with
That's all it
Joan,
takes for
and-
Debbie Klein, really,
Yes,
right? To get the
yes.
wheels turning. Yeah.
Definitely. So we kind of came up with this pop-up quilt. One of our members, Ellen, came up with the term, and I thought it was great. And so I've got 14 quilts right now, maybe more,
Okay.
to put out display.
Very good.
On Saturday.
Very good. And Joan, they'll be in one location or throughout
They're gonna
the
be sort
Pioneer
of,
Village a little bit?
Susan and her husband are going to come out on Friday, and
I've
we're
been
going to kind
taking
of work on
photos
that.
of the
Okay.
village and kind of planning.
Okay.
So,
And she has a special tie to the museum otherwise, through the bank.
Oh, yeah, Citizens Bank. My great-grandfather
Right?
started Citizens Bank.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
And there's a
1905.
representation, if not the actual
Yeah.
bank at the
It's
village,
a
right?
replica, and it was really designed to house the teller cages and all that beautiful
Yeah,
wood
yeah, yeah.
and brass.
That's
from-
original.
Yeah,
That-
from the big Citizens Bank building on Main, and they've brought several artifacts and things down to
Nice.
donate to the museum related to that.
How wonderful.
But it's going to be bright and colorful, and I'm really excited. I think it's a
the
wonderful
village-
idea.
Right.
Village is
So
great.
thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah,
Sure,
exactly. As we can see, there's two quilts here on display for this photo outside the lumber company in the Pioneer Village, and they're different designs, right? I mean, that's part of the beauty of quilting is that there's
Right.
all different types of designs, and quilters
Right,
really
right.
use different materials and colors, and I'm always amazed when I see them.
We'll have another member with me, and so people can ask questions about the various quilts. But we have, quite a variety.
Very good. And these, I know, are a labor of love for your members and for the creators of these quilts, because you can't just do a quilt like in a day. It takes some investment of
Oh,
time
some
and
people-
effort.
Some people think they can, and they
Okay.
are very simple. But yeah, it's more fun to take your time and
Yeah.
and all. So
But it's just amazing to me, the workmanship and just the
Right.
time and effort and thought
Right.
that goes into these quilts.
right. And we do have a community service program within our guild, and we have made many quilts and given them away to local charities and
Nice.
within the state, out of the country even.
Right.
We sent quilts to Ukraine refugees. So yeah, we've got we're a busy schedule.
I guess so. Very true. And is there still such a thing as quilting bees that happen?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
Yes, we also have members that are a part of Quilting Bee. They like to go on retreats and just sew.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Oh, one more thing about the county fair. We do oversee the quilt room.
Right.
And the thing is, people think only Quilters Guild members can show quilts, but that's not the case. Anybody can bring in a quilt
Okay.
and show it.
Good to know.
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
next year, start
For
planning
next
now,
year,
everybody,
yes.
for next year's county fair. But
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to it. How many quilts do you think you're going to have on display at the pop-up show?
Right now we have 14, but I've got a few more packed away I may drag out.
Okay. All right. Very good. How
And
fun
I
to see
think
those.
it's neat because, again, the quilting that they're doing now connects you to the past and the way
Sure.
people did this in the past, and you see lots of quilts that are just part of the museum, like in the old farmhouse, that kind of thing, because quilts were a part of life.
Right.
Right.
Whether they were made from, often from scraps of things left over. Again,
Sure.
you didn't waste anything. But then the designs, they're art. They are art, and they have even, whoever it was that made them in the past had an eye for how they were going to piece it together and what pattern and what does that represent. And of course, now the folks making them now just do the most extraordinary work. I'm really just very impressed with how they put them together, and
Right.
just the artistry of it.
Fun to see the
craftsmanship.
differences, I
And
guess,
it's a
right?
great way to learn more about that, I think, on Saturday.
Very true. And you'll have some members there, you said, that'll
Yes.
answer questions, so that'll be great to see. So
She'll be there, so if you see her, go ask
Okay,
her.
very good. Very good. Wonderful. Well, Susan, thank you for coming in and sharing a little bit about the Quilters Guild with us this morning and the work that all of you do. And it's probably not work, it's probably more fun, which is
Yeah,
why you
it
do
is
it.
fun.
But
It is fun.
but that's great to know about that. And Joan, there's one more part of the day that we want to talk about too, which is the printing press. You mentioned that too, that you're going to fire up the old Farmington Times Hustler printing press, which actually printed out the newspaper back in the day. And kids, ask your grandparents what a newspaper was. But you've got that at the Pioneer Village as well.
Yeah, we do. Thanks to the Garrisons, we do have the old Farmington Hustler Press, and they come out and fire it up a couple of times a year. So this is one of the days. It's really from 10 to 2.
Okay.
They'll come in early and set everything up. You got Norm and Devin Neely
Right.
standing there, and he's
Norman Garrison.
younger, everybody knows, and they are putting it together, and people will be able to watch it run. And I know they do a good job of kind of bringing out some of the different fonts and typeset and telling people how it works, because
Right.
you know,
It was a process.
Everything had to be set backwards, so it would print the correct way to read it, and it had
Right.
to be done fast because, you know, again, depending on how often the paper was being published,
Right.
you had to get that done, as well as just other things that needed to be printed in life. So this press would have printed people here in Farmington, their wedding invitations, their business cards, their business stationery. All of that would have been done on this very press. I even have a gentleman who remembers sort of helping move the thing into when they
Wow.
moved it to this building and that.
Interesting.
But it really is a neat process, and when you say it kind of makes history come alive, they kind of make it come alive by showing you how it's done, and they're doing it. And I know
Right.
Devin typeset the back of the postcard, and the Garrisons are always just fantastic, Deanie and Norman, about making sure that we get to do this a couple of times a year.
Yeah,
So we're
very
grateful.
cool. I have a couple postcards from my visits to the Pioneer Village when the press was running, so it's a great souvenir to take home and to be able to watch it being done, and great that it's still working, I guess, as part of this too. And I think that's what Norm and Devin do as well, to make sure it's greased up and ready to go.
It is, and it is an interesting process, and there are certainly, you know, still people who are doing it as a living and people doing it as hobbyists. They're, again, talking about different things. There's an art to quilting. There's an art to doing the printing press.
Right.
And it's really just a fascinating way, and kids love coming out and seeing it. And
I'm
again,
sure.
that explanation
Yeah, sure.
Of how it is typeset is sort of mind-boggling to them because you know, everything's on your phone now.
Exactly.
And so to see each little tiny letter, every period, everything
Needs to be set.
Yeah.
That's true. And no lasers involved at all. So
Nope.
Very
and
good.
it's real paper, real ink, real mess.
Yeah, all that stuff. Very good. Well, it is the event this Saturday. It's free at the Aztec Museum. It's a free day. Thank you,
Yes.
Smithsonian Magazine. And folks who come out, they can certainly make a donation. They can join the museum, I know, as well.
Absolutely. We're
Memberships
proud
are
to have you as a
available.
member, and
Yes.
and my mom, everyone here is a member.
Wonderful.
We always welcome more members. And,
very good.
Yeah,
To
it'll be
support the work.
a fun autumn day in Aztec.
Very much so. And maybe solve a mystery.
Maybe you'll see someone you know.
With some of these
Or you'll
photos.
just come up with a really good story of what the story should be behind the photo.
Perhaps. That's true. Very true. Well, it's a great day. Thank you for putting it together. Thank you for getting everyone here to visit with us this morning. We really
Well,
appreciate it.
Thank you to all of them. Thank you to our
you.
whole team at the museum.
Yeah, great to see you both, and thank you. And thanks again to our other guest from the phone, Dina Burt, who is back on the road.
Yes,
to.
thank you for coming, Dina.
That's right. Thank you, Dina, for coming and being on this program, and thank you all. And I guess we'll see you Saturday
We'll see you Saturday.
at the Aztec
Thank
Museum.
you.
There you are. My guest this morning here on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.